everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the Hyper Rescue number 2 from the Tomica Hyper Rescue Active Changer line. So this is kind of a giant ambulance that has kind of a transform mode, very similar to the fire engine we see over here. This was the Hyper Rescue number 1, which I previously reviewed, and it looks like you can actually hook these two together, which we'll take a look at, to make this kind of massive battle platform, which actually really looks cool. I like the look of that quite a bit. The one thing that just caught my eye over here in the bottom left, so you have 3, I guess, like degrees of difficulty. There's entry, standard, and creative. Like, you know, not advanced or expert or difficult, just create. Like, you're not creative on entry or standard. You can only be creative at the highest level. I don't know, it's just weird to me. Anyway, here's the top of the packaging. Shows you the ambulance, shows you the transformed mode. Have some ramps and stuff going on there. And then this is the connection with the fire engine. Over on this side, just kind of a cool little action shot there. Let's take a look at this side. You have kind of a, I guess this is a map. I wonder if this is like all the other Tomica toys put together. That'd be kind of cool, actually. And then on the back here, again, it just kind of shows off the individual vehicles. And it even has the 2 newer vehicles here. I believe these came out after this, which is kind of interesting that they made the packaging. I haven't reviewed these 2 yet, but I do have them. So pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the box. I'm sure there are a ton of stickers to put on, so once I am done with all that, we'll dive in and take a closer look. So here is the Hyper Rescue 02. It actually wasn't too bad when it came to the stickers. I feel like the 01 was definitely a lot more stickers. Also, unlike the 01, this does not come with a small car, and it also has no lights and sounds in it, so you don't need any batteries or anything for this guy. But still very cool. He's definitely like a ambulance tank. Like, that's the feeling I get from this thing. It's definitely massive, and it's just, I feel like it could just like drive through barricades and it's ready for shenanigans. So it's definitely built to smash. It's got these 2 little like saw blade things, and they just spin around, so you can see that they have pegs on the side and pegs here, so you can peg them anywhere you want. You can peg it here. There is some peg spots up here that you can do on this kind of revolving platform, as you can see, which we'll get to a little bit more later on. There's also pegs back here, so if you wanted to kind of have them guard the rear, you could do that as well. So pretty cool there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. They're literally the exact same thing, you just get 2 of them. So I'm gonna put them off to the side. But yeah, this thing's really neat. As you can see, pretty solid underneath. It has a ramp here on the back. So how this works is you flip this up, and then it extends out like this. And then you can just have a car up here. I'll bring in this car. Now the magnet will probably, I don't know, sometimes it makes them transform and sometimes it doesn't. But if you spin this, you can see it's on a little bit of a turntable. So if you want them to face the front or face the back, I'm going to have them face the back here. And then there is a little button right here that you just press down. And there you go. He kind of finished transforming. I'm not really sure what's going on with these. There we go. Okay. So, but as you can see, you hit the button right here, and then it kind of slides down the ramp, which is pretty cool. I'm going to transform him back. Maybe? Can I? No? Alright. There. Oh, that's not great. Okay. Apparently mine's broken, so there's that. Why won't he click? There it goes. There we go. Okay, put that off to the side. So that's how this back ramp works. Push that back in. Then you can push that down and it clicks in place. Otherwise, you just kind of have, you can put guys on the ramp up here, but they will just kind of fall off, but we'll get more to that later on. Let's go ahead and transform this guy. Transformation is very simple. There's just a button right here. With the 01, you kind of had to have one of the cars roll over a thing to transform it, or I think that one had a button as well. This one just has the button. You just hit the button right here. And it's not a ton of transformation. You get this drill on the front, and you can see that because there's this wheel right here on the bottom, as you push it, the drill rotates, which I think is a really cool feature. I like that quite a bit. I also like these big tank treads. So these panels on the side flip up, and then you have these big tank treads on the side that pop out. And then you just push that back in. So then, where's the button? There you go, pops that back out. So I think that's cool. It's like I said, it just lends to the fact that this thing was already like a tank, and now it's like a drill tank. So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing I think that's cool is these have a magnet in them, so you can store cars on the side. So much like the 01, it's kind of becomes like a battle platform where you can store two here, you can store one up here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have as much storage, but you can do if you have those, where did I put it? These plastic things that come with the individual cars. You can see that there's two tabs here on the side, so we can go ahead and peg this on top of here. And that gives you another place to store a car, because the magnet on there will keep it in place. So I think it's neat that it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 places to store cars, very much like the 01. But I don't like that ramping up there all the time, because it kind of like defeats the natural flow of this. I mean, I know that this kind of just would slide down into the drill tank at this point, but it is going to come and play later on. So if you're looking for the battle platform, I say go ahead and attach this so you can store another car without it falling off, because it does have the magnet. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and we'll show you why in a moment here. I'm trying to think other features. This does rotate all the way around, so if you wanted to have him roll out the other way, you certainly can. I showed you the saw blades that can peg into the top here. I mean, you could even peg them in over here if you wanted to on the side once these flip up. That's kind of cool, and they can rotate around, whatever you want to do. So I guess that's really it to transform it back. You just kind of push this back in, and then this will flip down, and then you just push the treads in, and then the sides fall back down. Pretty simple there. So that's cool. It does have some compatibility with the 01. So what you can do, you'll see that there are 2 clips here in the front, and there are 2 clips here on the back. So you just line them up and connect them together. There we go. And you hear that snap. I mean, they connect pretty tightly. Like, they're not, it's even hard to get them apart, honestly, I'll be honest. But the other cool thing is right here, there is a little ramp that you can pull out and then lift up, and then that clicks right in there, and that bridges the gap. So you can have someone be on here and then ride the ramp all the way to here, and then when they get to here, they'll hit this and then transform that. And if you want, you can take these big guns and put them down here on the side. The directions show you doing that, which is kind of a cool look. I think that's pretty cool, especially if you have this transformed. But I'm gonna try to close this back up. Put this back on. The other thing you can do, if you push the button here and you flip this up, and it's kind of weird that they put a magnet in this top section. Like, I understand why they did it, because they wanted to be able to keep the car on there, but it makes it difficult because when this thing has its wings down, it won't fit. But you can have him roll all the way through here, and then it connects. And then if you open this, and then it'll roll right off the end. So I think it's cool. It just makes it an even larger, battle platform. If you go ahead and you can transform this, even though the drill won't be able to pop out because of the way it's connected, but it'll just stay in. But you can still pop these guys out if you want to, display some figures there, connect some figures there in that way. I just think it was really smart to have that little bit of ramp so that the cars can connect all the way through. I think that was really smart on their part, so I appreciate that. Sometimes it gets a little stuck, but there you go. So I think that's really cool. I like the look of these two combined together. So I think the 02 is pretty cool. I don't think it has as much in terms of playability as the 01. The 01 came with a small car, so in case you didn't pick up any of the other sets, you could still use all the features. It also had lights and sounds. You just had to add batteries. And that's two things that the 02 I think really could have benefited from, especially being an ambulance. I think it makes sense to have lights and sounds for sirens. And it would have been neat to have kind of a small ambulance, but we did have a small ambulance already that just came out in the like single car releases. It turns into a helicopter, so you could kind of just pair that with this guy. Unfortunately, I don't have that handy, or I would have used it for the review. But so you could kind of like pair them together, but it would have been neat maybe come up with a different car for the single releases and put that release in with this guy just to beef it up a little bit. But I still think it looks neat. It just kind of, when I have to like naturally compare them to the last time Tomica did this kind of thing with the Zero, I think it was just called the Hyper Rescue Zero. The last fire one they did, and then we had the Great Ambulance, and those two could connect together. They're very similar, but that Great Ambulance had the ability to kind of open up, and it was like a little playset inside. There was some spot to put the little figures and stuff. It kind of seems like Tomica's gotten away from the little figures, even though they're still featured pretty prominently on the packaging. Like you can see that they're still included here on the packaging, but they don't really include them with any of the releases anymore. So I guess if you have them from back in the day, you could play with them with this, but they don't. I haven't really seen any new little figure packs being released. Then they've kind of gotten away from Tomica Town, and well, I mean they still kind of have Tomica Town, but it's that new weird like plug and play. I don't know. In any case, I liked the older releases a little bit better, but I still think there's some fun to be had here. I do really like the transforming aspect. I think turning him into the drill tank is really cool. I like when the platforms on the side pop out and then you can use the magnets to store vehicles on there, as you can see here in the box. So I do really like that aspect about it. The turntable on the top is also really cool with the kind of deployable ramp there, and you have the ramp on the back. And I love both of the telescoping ramps. I think that's really awesome. Having this pop out of here to connect the two to make the ramp one long complete ramp, I think was a stroke of genius there. And this ramp on the back is also really fun. So if you had to pick between the two, I would say get the 01 just because I think it has more functions, it has more playability, it has more to do to keep the kid occupied or whatnot. But if you can get both, I would say definitely pick up the second one because connecting them together is really fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.